What's cracking, everyone? It's good to see y'all. Hope everyone's having a super crispy day out there. Today, due to popular request from you, we're gonna talk about single baskets. What's the theory behind these things and why do I even need to think about it? Most baristas are familiar with the standard straight-walled double basket, generally 58 millimeters in diameter. This is what most commercial machines are equipped with. What's a little bit more confusing and sometimes intimidating are these really strange looking triangular, truncated, weird baskets that usually end up in some shelf underneath the espresso machine and nobody ever uses. It's a single basket. Now the theory behind the single basket is relatively simple. The single basket's purpose is to allow you to use the same grind setting that you use with your double basket and pull a shot using about half the dose that's half the size but still has the same flow rate and flavor characteristics as that double shot. For example, if with the coffee you're using 20 grams in and extracting a 30-gram shot at 27 seconds, with a single basket, you should be able to use a dose of 10 grams, extract a 15-gram shot at the same flow rate using the same grind setting. So why can't you just use your double basket and put 10 grams in that and have the same thing happen? Well, the problem is bed depth. There's a correlation between how deep your bed of coffee wants to be and the surface area over which you're brewing. So if you simply put 10 grams of coffee in a standard double basket, your bed will be much too thin for the surface area it's trying to brew through, and you'll have all kinds of extraction problems. Another way to visualize this, if you work in a cafe and you have a big batch brewer, is to imagine using that big batch brewer basket to just brew one coffee for yourself. If you put 18 or 20 grams of coffee in the bottom of that filter and brewed over it, you wouldn't expect it to come out very well. So the only real proper way to make a single espresso using a double basket is, of course, to split the shot, catch two different streams. Now this is cool if you want a single and one of your friends wants a single, but if you just want a single and no one else is there, that means you have to throw half of that shot away, and you're also using more ground coffee than you really need to. Hence the need for a single basket. Most single baskets attack this bed depth surface area problem by having a truncated shape and having a hole pattern that takes up much less space on the bottom of the basket. Now in theory, this sounds great. You can just take your double basket, swap it out, put half the coffee in, and make delicious coffee with it. Unfortunately, it doesn't always work like that. Quite a few single baskets suffer from the same problem, which is they create a puck that has uneven bed depth, and because of the way many of them are shaped, it makes even distribution and tamping a little bit more of a challenge. So let's look at bed depth and water flow through a standard double basket versus a single basket. In our standard double basket, you can see we've got an even bed depth across the whole filter basket. Assuming even density and distribution, when water hits that coffee from the top, it's gonna permeate through that coffee evenly and give us an even extraction. The key here is that this basket shape encourages the water to travel in one direction, straight down. Now let's look at a single basket. As you can see, we've got a bed with various depths. It's deeper in the middle than it is on the sides, and because the hole pattern occupies such a small part of this basket, the water flow isn't encouraged to go from top to bottom. Now there's a theory floating around out there that slightly truncated basket shapes lead to better extraction, but that is way beyond the scope of this video. So water flow has the potential to be problematic, and there's some issues with tamping as well. When you're tamping a full-size straight-walled basket, you have all of the force of the tamper distributed across the entire bed of coffee evenly. Now if we're looking at most single baskets, this isn't the case, especially if they have a ridge, which a lot of them do, which basically stops your tamper from maybe going in as far as you need it. And if you can't tamp it with adequate pressure, you risk pitting it and getting channeling once you start the brewing cycle. Different companies try to solve this problem in different ways. The IMS single baskets don't have any ridge, they have just like a smooth taper so you can use a full-size tamper. Some single baskets require the use of a smaller diameter tamper, and they have kind of a pocket, if you will, where the coffee sits and you can use a smaller tamper to get in there. I think a perfect solution, which is totally unreasonable, would be a smaller diameter basket with a smaller diameter group head and smaller shower screen, which would require a smaller diameter portafilter, which would probably require a whole different machine, which is ridiculous. So I know this sounds a little disheartening, but don't give up. If you're interested in doing single basket extractions, I would start with the newer version of the La Marzocco single basket filter or the IMS Precision single basket filter and go from there. I don't have a ton of experience with either of these baskets, but I know there's thought and intention put into their design, which is more than what I can say for most single baskets out there. As another note, I'll add that we do not use single baskets in the cafe. The espresso culture here in the US is really built around double espressos, with the bulk of those going into relatively large-ish milk drinks. But I do like drinking single espressos, which means I split the shot, and then I have the opportunity to share coffee with someone in the cafe, and that's not so bad. All right, y'all, this was single baskets, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Hope this clears up some confusion and gets you on the right track. Stay dialed, and I will catch you on the flip side. Peace.